pretty sad about that, but it is what it is. Internal issues once again.
I'm going live.
Okay, bet.
Oh, we'll probably just hang out and chit chat for a second. Let a couple people come in. I'm going to share the stream real quick.
Okay.
Wrath, you're still in school, right?
I am. I'm a junior
do you
in college.
Do you care how personal questions, any kind of personal questions I ask you?
Oh no, yeah, go ahead. Whatever,
right, cool.
whatever you want to ask.
What are you going to college for?
Accounting.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Do you enjoy it? Are you like a numbers guy? Do you enjoy numbers?
Well, I like dealing with money, and mostly I just went into the field because it's like constantly growing. There's a lot of job opportunities, and it makes good money. That's
Fair.
pretty much like. I mean, I originally was going to school for animal science and like veterinary science, but the problem is that's like kind of a limited field, and it's just like not as secure, you know.
Fair. I don't know. I've thought about going back, but I don't know. We'll see.
I mean, you could. There's definitely like I think there's a lot of people who are like older than the typical college age students
Are you calling me
going to
old, bro?
college now.
Or
No,
I'm feeling a
no,
little
never
attacked.
do
No,
that.
this guy. Literally, it's like, yeah, you could, but like, I feel like there's a lot of old people in college. That's what you just said. That's
Maybe it is, but you know what I mean. Like, there's no age limit on college, and it's definitely, you know, it can be really helpful, especially if like you find something new that you're passionate about, you really want to pursue. Then it's always there for you. You know, it's nice.
fair. All right, anyone just coming in, welcome. We're going to be doing NACT team review. Has registration, did it end today or does it end tomorrow?
It ends in, I believe, like 15 minutes.
All right, registration ends in like 15 minutes. Join with me is Wrath. Some of you guys might recognize him, maybe at least seen his face on like certain IRL streams back at NACT. Wrath has managed for a lot of teams. Really, I feel like you've been on every side of the coin at this point. You've been on Zane teams, you've been on Hoon teams, you've done it all at this point, right?
Well, I mean, I've never actually officially managed one of Zane's teams, but yeah,
you didn't
I've been
do
around the
Cloud9.
guys.
Okay.
No, yeah, I never was. But yeah, I've been around the guys for a while, and mostly just like I was with TOB. But
okay, so
yeah.
TOB, yeah, back in what, that was last spring and fall,
season.
right? Pretty much last year. All right, and
Most of
then
last
you
year.
did TOB until it was GG, and after it's pretty much TOB until it was GG, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Pretty much.
Hell yeah! What are you working with any teams now?
I'm not, just because I'm actually working in NACT. I'm like the league manager this season, so that's basically like what Pika and G-Lyco were in last year. So
Okay,
maybe
so
I'd love to join a team again at some point, but that's just where I am right now.
all right, so league manager for NACT, pretty much making sure teams are where they need to be when they need to be, and instead of just doing it with one team, you're doing it with 183.
Well, I'm mostly just, you know, starting with the regular season teams, so I'm not really doing too much. It's interesting because this NACT is a little bit different in terms of like the qualification. If you've read through like the rules that were posted and stuff, there's no limit to the number of teams that can enter the qualifiers. So it's more of a like team by team basis. They kind of set things up themselves and then report back to us, and then like we really start getting involved in the regular season and stuff. That's where it really starts.
Okay, so a quick question: do you think any of these new rules will, like any of the whole like qualifications rules? Because most of the time, like we've changed rules on like qualifiers a few times. We've kind of tried out different things. Do you think this set will actually really make a huge change on like the teams we will see? Like, do you think it gives more opportunity for weaker teams to slip through the cracks, or do you think it's pretty much just like the strong will still preserve as they always have, you know?
I think honestly, as much as I hate to say it, it'll probably be a lot of the same teams and players that we've seen in the past. Because I'd love to see new talent. Like it's it's definitely like the goal of these tournaments is to bring new players into the spotlight. But I think for the most part, it'll probably be players that will be recognizable either from like good performances in past NACTs or even in various other community tournaments that we've had going on in the last couple months or so. So
All right, so so pretty much there's not a lot of room for like slipping through. No matter what, the strong teams will make it through. And if there are new faces, then they will have to be good enough to beat old faces, right? Like it's not
yes.
gotcha. Which I think I agree, and that's normally like even with some of the teams like hosting some of their own lobbies and things, I still think time always seems to tell. Like the strong seem to always pull through, right? Very rarely do we see like some sort of big upset happen or things of that nature. So I'm excited for it. I think there's all. It seems like every season we've had a few new faces come in. To let everyone know pretty much what we're going to be doing today. Normally, I always do some sort of like team review. We go through a lot of the registered teams, kind of who to look out for, old faces, maybe under new names, old players maybe under new names, new logos, new combinations. We're seeing things like Night Horde, Gosu, all types of craziness. And we always kind of skim through, give some highlights, kind of maybe the 8 teams that we think are definitely going to make it. Some possible teams that could get in, and Wrath is someone who's pretty embedded in the community, pretty embedded, especially I feel like a lot what's going on in some of more of the community tournament, that's where I have kind of stepped back. I feel like I used to be a lot more involved in that stuff, and now when it comes to some of the newer faces, I do not catch them as often. And Wrath actually reached out to me a little bit ago and asked me if I was going to be doing something like this. He would love to be a part of it. And I said, yeah. So I think it's going to be great having you here. Like you said, you kind of know a lot of the maybe up-and-comers, the guys who are still unheard and unsung. So I think it'll be exciting to do this, Wrath.
For sure. I think definitely in the last couple of months, I've seen, some people might call them like rank tryhards or rank gods, but I mean, that's where everyone starts, right? Everyone
Yeah.
starts out in rank, and then from there, they can hopefully perform well in tournaments. And there's definitely some teams and players that haven't really gotten the spotlight before that I think could have a shot at proving themselves in this upcoming NECT. So we'll definitely see.
All right, real quick, just to say hi to a few people. Zane, this is my favorite name, Wrath. It's Grandma's Fur Burger. Do you know what that is?
I don't, unfortunately.
No? Have you ever heard of a fur burger?
I have not.
Oh, well, you could just imagine. It's like a burger that's furry that you might want to eat one day. We have Pepper, Miss Magic, Chester, Harvey, Techno Gaming. What's up, guys? Everyone just coming in. Make sure you say hello. Don't forget to leave a like, all that good stuff. If you want to share it, that's a plus. Before we jump into this, I want to ask you your personal opinion, Wrath, just to kind of like hint at what's to come. If you had to make a guess on like how many up-and-coming teams there are, other than like our usual top 8 or top 4, like how many teams do you think there are like on the map that are hungry for top 8 right now?
Oh, I think definitely quite a few. There's always been, being that I was originally West and now moving to East, I can see even more. But there's always been teams that have been close. They do well in rank. They know they'll win over C9 and GG and other strong teams in rank sometimes. And they'll sometimes just fall short, losing right before they make to top 8, like top 16, something like that. And I think that really drives these teams to try even harder next time, practice more. And also, the meta is always shifting. It's assassin meta right now compared to what was mostly tank meta in the last NACT. So it's definitely going to shine the spotlight on some different players, I think, potentially. And, I think there's definitely some room. There's for sure some room for some new faces to make it into the top 8.
It also feels like I don't think I saw I don't know if they registered last minute. Is Bloodhounds playing? Do you know?
Are
they in here somewhere?
Either. I have not seen Bokarosco very active, though.
Yeah, it feels like a couple of the teams that were like 6 to 8 place normally aren't as like and even a couple other teams might have joined. Like from what I saw, Area 77 now has a slightly different roster. We have like the Simpsons who have picked up a couple players. So there's definitely seems to be some movement. Like outside of your typical top two, GG and Cloud9, some things have shifted in the North American MLBB landscape. So I definitely think like if there was a season for some new faces and new teams to like jump into that 6 through 8 slot, I think this is definitely that season. This is definitely that spot. So definitely exciting. I don't think we should waste any more time. We should jump right in. And I think we're just going to I think our best bet is just to kind of go page by page. We'll kind of at least state the name of every team. And if you have something to say about it, we can. And if I have something to say about it, we can. And we'll just kind of jump from the top. There are a lot of teams, so bear with us. We got a little bit to go through. So yeah, we'll just start from the beginning. Personally, N8, Nate 4 Gaming, I have no clue about. I don't know if you do.
No, have not seen them before, and I think that's going to be the case for a lot of these teams. Yeah, unfortunately.
So for the ones that we know nothing about at all, we will literally just like state the name, and then you'll say no, I'll say no, and we'll just go on to the next one. So Supernova.
I know some of the players in that team, but I don't
Nothing
see
special.
them making a big impact. Yeah.
You're saying they're trash.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
All right.
Maybe top 32 or top 64. We'll see. Maybe they'll surprise me.
Team Riz, this name I have seen a few times. They have at least plays. Riz General. This name does look familiar. For me, at least, none of the names are like, no one is top 8, I don't think, here. But the name does look familiar. I think they've scored at least like top 32 in the past, maybe. Something like that?
Yeah. I mean, they've definitely been around for a really long time. I know that for sure. Used to go against them in rank all the time.
Did you beat them?
Yeah, there's I mean, usually maybe, but
all right.
I think they're still, they've been around for a long time, and so they could always surprise some people, you never know.
Let me pull up hold on, let me pop out my chat real quick. The people miss you, Wrath. I just want to let you know. I don't know if you have chat. If you want to open up chat or anything, and like if at any point you want to respond to a question or anything like that. Ritz said we're doing every team. Well, here's what we can do. We'll look at each page. Maybe we won't like skim exactly through every team, but like we'll look at each page and we'll point out the teams that really come out to us. I mean, for me, and I'll point out the teams that come out to me, and then you can add, and then we'll review those teams. If there's anyone that I don't point out, and you're like, oh, this team too, and then we'll review those teams. Maybe that's the most logical way to.
Yeah, I like
go
that.
through this.
Because I think, most of these we're not going to recognize anyone. So I think that's a good way to do it.
Next question. Is there a way to change this site to dark mode?
That's a great question. If there is, I have not figured it out yet.
Hold on. Let me see.
I wish.
Manage cookie preferences, help center, request a feature, request a league, terms of service, privacy policy, login, register. Is this language? I'm not changing the language.
It says there is one, but the question is where?
Try this real quick. All right, we're going to try to change this to dark mode real quick, guys, just so, because I know some of you guys are having some trouble looking at everything. Help center?
StarGG Plus extension. It says it should sync to the user's Google account.
Oh, maybe my Google account just isn't in dark mode.
Could also only be for the extension, though. I'm not sure. Because I believe there is like a Google extension that you can get for StarGG. It's different from like the actual website. Of course I remember you, Rayash. I miss you too.
Nope, still no dark mode, guys. You're smoked. Sorry. That's life. All right. So yeah, for first page, for me, the major things that point out is honestly just Nova Core. Thought there was someone else. For me, I think it's just Nova Core, honestly. They're the only team that looks familiar to me here, other than like Team Riz, but yeah, Nova Core. I don't know if there's anyone else for you.
Nova Core, and then I also do recognize Accelerate. I think they've been playing some community tournaments, but I guess like if I could sort teams into like A, B, and C, A being like almost guaranteed top 8,
Okay.
B being good chance at top 8, and C being probably not, then I would probably put them in C. That's what I guess. But yeah, Nova Core, in case people don't know, they actually did qualify for top 8 last season, but they just weren't
Oh
able to
yeah, they had the issues.
submit, yeah,
So
all of
let's
their
do like
documents
this.
and everything.
S tier, guarantee top 8. Guarantee. Like it's like this team is going to top 8. A tier should get top 8, could whiff. B tier is like a team we should watch for that might steal top 8, that like could slide in there, could mess up one of those A tier teams. And then just below that is like, yeah, probably not going to make it. Yeah, we don't know, or probably not going to make it, all right? I think that's the easiest way. So are we putting this as B, probably not going to make it?
I'd say, yeah,
Or
for Accelerate and Nova Core, I mean,
Nova Core, I think, I mean, like you said, they got top 8 last season. They still have Quirky. They have Ash. Those names are all familiar.
I know some of these players, yeah. I just don't really see them. You know, there's a lot of strong teams out there right now, and I don't think they're quite there yet.
Okay, fair. Someone said Nova Core can make it.
We will see. They definitely could. Absolutely. I hope they do, you know? Like, they've never really played in regular season before, so.
Who's TG9? Awesome. Do you know TG9? They've got Moonpie in there.
Let's see. I recognize like one of their players. I don't really know much about them, but yeah, I couldn't really comment on them, unfortunately. I've never played them in 5-man before.
All right. So maybe we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
Next page. It looks like we have 2 Cloud9s right now. Why are there 2 Cloud9s? Well, one is just G. It's got the Cloud9 ICO, and that's why. I'm guessing the second one is the correct one. Is there a difference between the two at all?
It looks like they both have the same roster.
Maybe it was just the first one was a mess up because its name isn't Cloud9, and the first GX, whoever registered the team put everyone's names instead of the name of the team. All right, makes sense. All right, so for this, we obviously have Cloud9, Nighthorde Gosu, and that is it for these two. For at least me, that is the only 2 teams that I... Divine Reaper, the name Hades and Horus look familiar.
So also here we have Godspeed, which is Joybodge's team.
Oh,
yeah.
Baji boy.
Yep, he's back. They've got some good players. Lord Shiro, the jungler, is pretty good. Hunter, if that is who I think it is, that's like a Filipino mage player who was like really good. Like,
the name looks familiar.
He disappeared. Like, I don't know where he went, but he was like one of the best mage players in NA, in rank at least, for like
the name Shiro also looks familiar. Lord Shiro, that name looks familiar. I know Baj. Houdini sounds familiar, and Hunter sounds familiar on this team. Everyone else doesn't.
I mean, I don't recognize all of them. I know RC is pretty good, but yeah, definitely. I mean, any team with Baj definitely has potential. Yeah, Houdini is the manager, I think, but they're definitely. I would say they're probably like a B tier team. Like they could easily surprise some people. Like, I don't have a lot of experience with their full lineup, but they definitely have some good players for sure. For sure, they could
definitely. And someone just told me that Hunter was he was on the original Team First Blood roster.
That's her.
So we know. So that means we also know there's some synergy between him and Baj. At least they have played together before. They know each other. So I think this is definitely just with Baj and Hunter. definitely a team that could maybe steal. I think we should keep our eyes on them.
Yeah. So yeah, and then obviously Cloud9, I'd say is S tier. I mean, they're
Cloud9.
literally are
Yeah.
they're already in the regular season. They're probably going to be top four, at least, if not
That's it, bro.
higher.
That's it.
I'd say like definitely higher than that. Yeah, no.
Yeah. Top four is a possibility. It's I mean it's
They
a
could-
possibility, bro. Yeah.
They could win it all. They could definitely win it all for sure.
And-
Especially with Nats in there, they're really strong, really really strong.
Just to clarify for everybody, the final this registration ends tonight in, like he said, 15 minutes, or that was 15 minutes ago. So registration might be closed at this point, and it's Mark Cutie, Basic, Best Player, Cold World, Nats, Sir Roge, Milo, Midnight. From what we know currently, Milo is on bench. Nats is officially on the roster. Don't ask us because we have no clue about any of the contract stuff, but for now it shows that Nats is on the roster. He is registered. So what? Nats, EXP, Cold World, Rome, Best Player, Jungle, Basic Gold, Mark Cutie, mid lane. How do you feel about this team?
Like I said, I shouldn't have even said top four. I mean, this is basically a guaranteed top two team unless there's
Okay.
like a big upset. Which I mean, like I said, a big upset would be pretty awesome to see for any established team, you know, because I feel like that's a problem that NA has, is that they've kind of got a pool of like 10 to 15 players who are always in the top. So I'd love to see a team, you know, surprise people, but as it is now, I would say they're definitely a strong contender to win the whole thing.
Yeah.
Um,
Even
especially, I mean,
if the Nats play doesn't go, even if for some reason the Nats isn't to play, this is still a team to be reckoned with.
oh, for sure.
Yeah. I think the main worry that some of us casters have is we understand it as assassin meta, and we understand that is great for best player, but also seeing that everything is going to be online now. There's the worry of MS, and that was a reason. That was that was kind of the debate on why best player was always seen as like he was never able to play to his full potential, and we're talking like 2-3 years ago, before like in older days of MLBB, NASL days, like best player was never able to like really pop off. So if that is an issue, it could that could be a problem, right? If playing central server, everyone on like 50 plus ping. That is our only. That is like from a caster's point of view. That's what's been on all of our minds.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, ping is definitely a huge issue, especially, when I'm sure a lot of these people in the chat have, they watch Zane, they watch Best Player, and you can see sometimes it's like you're in 5-man and you just end up on ADMS, and you could lose to a team that arguably is a lot worse than you, but, when you're on something like Ling or Fanny, and the cables are just not cabling, the walls are just,
the walls just start walling, the cables start cabling.
It's not working out. So that MS could definitely be a huge issue, a huge hurdle.
I'm gonna remember that
honestly,
line.
I mean, yeah.
These cables just aren't cabling.
No, they're not. But Best Player has a ton of experience in online as well,
Yeah.
He's played, like you said, he's been in the pro scene for years and years. So yeah, it's annoying to have to play on 50 MS, but I don't think that's a deal breaker for him by any means.
Yeah.
So he's
and it feels like the MS, like it switches. Like I remember there was a season of NASL where like best player was always complaining about it. He was like, MS has been shit this season. And then like the following season, like first season, like into like one of the early on NACTs, I remember best player being like, yo, did something change? Like I feel like some months it'll favor West Coast, and then some months it'll favor East Coast. In the past, I felt like it, like Central Lobby always kind of favored East, but then for a while it kind of felt like, so I don't know if it has to do with bandwidth or what the fuck, but just Moonton, give us a global server for the love of Christ.
Right? Please. Please. But yeah, I definitely agree with that. And interestingly, one thing I've noticed now is that like if you watch a lot of I know the Clippers like to clip these, is when like 5-man GG will snipe 5-man C9. It almost always goes west now. So it could be back to favoring West Coast, but I mean, that's not like confirmed or anything. That's just speculation. And hopefully, like you said, they eventually figure out a way to create some sort of bigger server that can allow most or all of the continent to be on lower MS.
Yeah, we'll see. So we point out Godspeed. That's Joy Baj's new team. We point out Cloud9, and last but not least, one of the teams on a lot of our minds, or at least a lot of questions. And speak of the devil, we just saw NH Tyrant in here as well, in the chat. We have Nighthorde X Gosu. Now, I'll say my things real fast. You know, we got Foe. We got Dez on here. We got Mikasa, Sayori. My question is, like, and maybe Tyrant's in here, maybe he can explain, or maybe you know, like, why is it Nighthorde X Gosu? Because isn't Mikasa, like, the only Gosu player?
Well, I mean, I don't know the details of that, but I did hear that General said something in his stream last night about like potentially moving on from ML or retiring. Now, I don't know like all the details, but it could be that he's trying to keep the brand of Gosu
Okay,
going within ML.
cool.
And yeah, like you said, Mikasa is the only.
I
I
guess
mean, Foe
Legend
is in
too.
Gosu.
Foe's
Foe is
Gosu. All
also
right,
in
so what? It's
Gosu.
Legend, Mikasa, and Foe. Is that it? I think it might be
Yeah,
Legend.
okay. Juki said he has three of their players. So yeah,
Sayori. Sayori's also Gosu. I guess there's.
is she?
Hey man, everyone's Gosu nowadays. No, I'm just I'm just kidding. I'm joking. But Gosu's been through a lot of, you know, it's being part of Gosu is like an entrance into North
It
American
is.
MLBB. That's like your first step, you know. That's
I mean, even today, you know, when Gosu's not really a strong presence in tournaments anymore, just being able to be in that squad is just it's like a huge bit of bragging rights, you know, to have that just to say like I've been in the Gosu squad, like the real Gosu squad with General, you know,
yeah, yeah.
it still definitely means a lot to a lot of players, I think.
All right, so what's your rating on this team?
Oh, this is for sure, and I would put them in S tier. I think this is a
S?
top four team right here.
Like definite S. Like they're gonna make top 8 no matter what.
Yeah, for sure. They're
Like
for sure
they'll
top
they'll
eight.
make it to
And
season.
I think they're top four too. I
Ooh.
think, you know that tank, the guy at the very bottom, Alcyon. That was the guy I was telling you about, who has been one of the best roams in rank recently. So
Okay.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure if he's starting or if that guy Momoy. That's Totnek. And Totnek's also a really good roamer. So
Yeah, I know
I'm not sure
tons.
which one of them is starting, but either one is a
Tyrant, can
great
you give
option.
us, since Tyrant's in here, what's the starting lineup right now? What's the starting lineup? Give
Yeah,
us the
help us
starting
out.
lineup. Well, while you're typing, Tyrant, you weren't in the chat the other day, but I'm going to say this one more time while there's more people. Much love to Tyrant, man. Tyrant, we were actually I didn't like show chat, but I pulled up some chat. I was talking about you because I remember way back when Tyrant first reached out to me, and he asked me to do some collabs, and I'm pretty sure I turned him down. Dude, Tyrant was like his start of putting together teams in small community tournaments, and Tyrant has really grinded behind the scenes. He has really, he has kept at it, whether he's playing on a team or not playing on a team. Tyrant has definitely been someone who has earned the respect of the community in a sense. He's had his highs, he's had his lows, but big shout out to you, Tyrant, man. You've definitely been you've become a member of the MLBB community for sure, at least in North America, you know. So it's
Oh
it's
yeah, for
cool. It's
sure.
cool to see a guy. It's cool to see like people, and it's opened the door, I think, for a lot of like a lot of people that are just like started doing community tournaments, started doing a lot of different things. So it's nice to see someone keep at it.
Absolutely. I mean, I don't know if a lot of people know this about him, but he also orchestrated some of the in-person meetups that Mobile Legends hosted in North America, especially on the West Coast. And I'm sure the most memorable one was he even went to New York for this one. He was able to get Zane and I think Cardi and Joybotch, if I remember correctly, to all
Yeah, yeah,
show
yeah.
up to that. That was pretty awesome. And so he's been behind a lot of those. And
All
it
right.
looks like he did say in the chat it's Dez, Sharky, who's that other tank, and then Legend, Brian AR, and Mikasa.
Okay.
That is a scary lineup for sure.
Okay. Des on jungle, I'm guessing.
Oh yeah, for sure. Brian AR is a gold laner. He actually, I don't know if you remember, but he subbed in to AO last season. Oh no, was it Fiends last season? AO was the season before that. It was the
Yeah,
same
Fiends
players.
was last season.
Yeah, so
Fiends
he
were like the
subbed
upset.
in.
Remember they came into the season and were like upsetting everyone. They were like getting dubs over
Yeah,
Area 77 and like all types of crazy shit. Yeah.
yeah. So he subbed in to become their gold laner in the playoffs, and he's a good player. He's a really good
Who was
player.
wait, who was the gold laner? Who was Okari? Was it Hikari the Brave? Who was
Oh,
the gold
Kohari.
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 Who's Kohari playing for? Is he playing for anyone this season?
I actually don't know.
I need
I
my boy
haven't.
Kohari back, bro. I was
Yeah, that
hyping that kid
guy's
up, man.
he was awesome.
Kohari the Brave will go down in history as one of the best worst gold laners in ever. My guy
Yeah,
was getting 1v1s against best player, but was completely throwing the whole game. So we love
yeah.
Kohari.
The most
If you're out
aggressive
there,
marksman player in the
yeah,
game, for sure.
if he could just tame that down, man, we like him. All right. So other than that, on this team, so we said Nighthorde, Cloud9, Godspeed. Is there
Before
anyone
you,
else? Oh
before
yeah,
you is another
before
team.
you. I forgot about they
They
changed the way they spelled their name.
they actually in a recent tournament, I think it was like within the last month, I think they made it to top four, I believe, and lost against some other good teams that were playing. But I definitely recognize some of the guys in here.
Like
I
Euphoria's
would
picture.
put this. Oh yeah, yeah. I would definitely put them maybe in A. I would say A. Like actually no.
B, like possible steal.
B.
We're
I'd
saying
say
like
B.
maybe a
Yeah,
steal
I
team.
think they could make it. I wouldn't say they're a favorite to make it, but they definitely could. They have
Okay.
potential.
All right. Possible steal team. A team to keep our eyes on. All right. Next
Yeah.
page.
All right. Let's see.
This is
Oh,
we
there's
got two
Kohari. S2 Esports.
S2 Esports. Our boy
Oh my
Kohari.
gosh. Okay, I didn't know this team was together, but
Oh, we
this
got
is
UA on
actually a
here.
crazy team.
We
There's
got
everyone.
Reckless.
There's Uzi. There's Basti.
Oh shit! Yeah, this
There's
is
Avery.
a team to keep our eyes on.
Yeah.
Bosu
So
Uzi?
S2 Esports was like they were a team like 10 seasons ago. They didn't play tournaments or anything, but I think
I
this
know
is
of S2.
completely
Yeah,
separate.
I've definitely heard the name. But name aside, we've got some hitters on here.
Oh yeah.
Like you said, we got Uzi, we got Reckless, we've got I don't UA. I don't really know how he's playing in the competitive sense, but we have UA on here. Hopefully he's I was about to smoke him. Never mind. I'm not gonna go.
I think he's a coach. That's my
all
guess.
right,
I'm pretty
Coach
sure
UA.
he's a coach here.
All right, I like it. I'm down with it. Avery sounds familiar, but the main players jumping out to me are Kohari, Uzi, and Reckless.
Yeah, so this is definitely I recognize pretty much all these players. They're all like high ranked players, I'd say. And this is, I would say, probably another B tier team. They definitely could upset people, but I wouldn't say they're a favorite. I think they need to prove themselves, but they have potential for sure. Avery was in Fiends and AO
All right.
last
So a
last
lot of
two
these,
seasons,
just about every one of the, at least like let's say it's Reckless, Avery, Uzi, and Kohari have all played at least in top 8 teams. So they've all at least played in season, right? Whether they were on good teams or bad teams, they've at least played in season. So I think if there's opportunity, this is definitely a B tier, could steal a win, could steal a top 8 spot.
Yeah. There's actually a couple teams here that I've recognized from like past NACTs and other tournaments, and I don't think they have a great chance of making it, but
Aether
I
Explicit?
definitely recognize them. Like, I mean, I was gonna say, I mean, yeah, obviously I recognize them, but above the rest I've seen before.
Yeah.
LF org. I know the players in there.
Looking for org.
Yeah.
Oh.
Then
Is that what that's? You think that's what it stands for?
Yeah,
like
yeah,
like
that's,
like
that's
LFT, looking for team, or looking for
oh yeah,
looking
for
for
sure.
game? LF
Yeah,
org.
that's what it is. Then Divinity 404, they're an East team. I see
Wait,
them ranked all
Anna.
the time.
Is
Yep,
Anna
that's
old Deuce Knights player? DK Anna?
yeah. Yep,
From like way
that's
back.
him.
This is Anna we know, okay?
The
I
ancient
can't remember
jungler.
what position Anna plays, but we know Anna.
Yep, he's a jungler.
All right.
Yeah, so that there's a lot of teams here that I recognize, but I don't really see any of them making it to top 8, except potentially that S2 Esports could make it in.
Do you
Aether
think Aether
Explicit,
Explicit can make it in?
this is a tough one. I think they're close, but I don't know. Like I've actually been playing 5-man with this team quite a
Okay.
bit lately. They're definitely good, but it's I would put them probably in B right now.
Possible steal.
They, I think they could impress us though, but I think they're gonna. If I had to predict, I would say they're probably gonna get like top
Wait,
16, like just
who's
miss it.
Nerfski?
Just a mage. I don't think he's played for any big teams before, but uh, like they're all good players. Like this is a team that will not ever lose to randoms in rank. They're only going to be losing to like good teams. I just don't know how they will perform when they're playing like top 8 caliber teams.
Yeah. I
So
mean, I know
let's
Blink, I know
see.
Riles. So yeah, we'll see. I think again, yeah, top. I personally, I don't think there are like a total of 8 guarantee. I don't know. We'll see. I don't think there's a total of like 8 guarantee teams. Like I think there's definitely like 4 or 5 guarantees,
Mhm.
and after that, there's like 3 open slots, right? And like these are some of the teams that might slip in there. I don't know.
Yeah. I think definitely there's some openings, but there's definitely, I think actually this season, there's probably more teams that like the top, like the top 3 or 4 teams are the players from last season. Those teams are like spread out over more teams this season. So I think there's like a lot of skill and it like averages out.
Okay.
So there's definitely not as much space, I think, as there has been in previous MACTs.
All right. All right. Next page. Next page.
Hmm.
This is
Oh,
we got a
jumping
couple
out of me, The
bangers here.
Simpsons. We got The
Simpsons.
Simpsons. That is, I would say, guaranteed. That is guaranteed. That's Kush, Melon. Oh my gosh, yeah, Promise, Magayan, Jay. Yeah,
Yeah, we got super. We
that
got
is a
Melon, Yato,
strong
Jay,
team.
Kush, Promise. And I don't really know Coda or Magayon, but
Magayan is like really, really, really good. Like I don't know. He used to sub in for like he used to be like
what
the
position does he
sub
play?
mage for like he's a mage.
Mage.
Um, and he, like whenever Hoon was missing, whenever Mar was missing, boom, slot in Magayan. He's really good for sure.
Okay, so
That's
my
this is
feelings
like
on this team.
mhm.
I mean, everybody should know. Big Simpsons fan here was hyping them up back in the days. I started the iconic hashtag Gorillas in the chat.
Oh my gosh,
I'm gonna
yeah.
continue to hype up this team, but what's up with the no hate at all to MLC. I know they're like a small they're whatever size community tournament and everything, but what's up with the collab? Why are we tainting the Sims? And I'm not. I sound like a hater right now. But what's up with the collab? Someone tell me about this. I reached out to some of this old school Simpsons players and was like, what's going on with the collab? And they said they wanted to be a Moonlight Club, wanted to be a part of it. I just want to know the details. If anyone knows the details, please let me know. Like, is this a actual sponsorship? Is this like is Moonlight Club? Because we already like this team already is a pretty big. It's not. There's the only actual Simpsons player here is Promise, so it's a big change up. But I'm very glad we're digging this name out of the possible grave it could have ended up in. Simpsons have earned the name. The Simpsons has kind of earned some respect in the NACT community, like for those that don't just worship C9 and GG. To anyone that likes some other teams, it's up for me. The Simpsons are up there with like Area 77. Like they have like the name at least. The name holds some respect in the community for me at least. So it's just
Oh yeah.
it kind of feels weird seeing MLC in front of it.
It's definitely going to be an adjustment. I mean, I hope that it's a real sponsorship because I mean that's great for the players, it's great for the community. But I definitely agree. Simpsons is kind of a legendary brand from that first live
The
NACT
old yeah,
when they made
bro.
it to the finals, and even before that when they would play in the online tournaments. They've just been around forever, and I'm really glad to see them back. So I would definitely say this is a top 8 team, guaranteed.
Yeah, I think they're yeah, I would put them in S tier for sure. I mean, you have some heavy hitters here. You got guys like Promise, probably one of the most underrated EXP laners in NA. I think he's got he's got the most second places, I think, out of any other play. Like I was talking to him like, was it last NACT or the NACT before that, where he's like, bro, every year I get second place, man. Every fucking season I always get second place. He's been unable to get a gold. So it's kind of sad, but Promise he's had games where he's given the works to players like Milo and Chicken. Like, he doesn't beat them all the time in best of fives, but he's had some games where he has given the works to some of what we would call some of the best EXP laners in NA. So I always gotta hype up Promise. And then we got Yato, Jay, Kush, Super Melon. Melon's gonna get some experience in ISF too, which is cool.
Yes.
So
this
that'll
is
be really
definitely
good for him.
I can't wait to see this team play, to be honest. I've played against them in rank a bunch of times, and they're really freaking good, that's for sure. So I can't
Do
wait
we
to
think
see how
this
they
is
do in
like
tournaments.
this is not just a possible, this isn't just a top 8, but these guys are contenders for, like, after we see them in season, of course, we can't say it now, but possible contenders for, like, you know, top 2? You know,
I don't know about top
could
2.
Could they steal a top 2?
Maybe they could.
It would be hype.
That would be super hype for sure. But I would say this is definitely, if I had to choose like 4 top teams, they would probably be one of them. If not that, then definitely top 6 for sure.
It's cool to see. I mean, we got players like Yato who we have literally seen like grow up. You know, like it's crazy to think how long I've known Yato now. It's been like 3 or 4 years almost. How old is Yato? Yato's over 18 now, I think. Either way, it's crazy to see some of these players that have been around so long.
It is, for sure. Other than the Simpsons, though, I mean, I definitely recognize some other teams here, but none that I would say have like a really good chance of making it
You
into
have
the top
Apex
8.
Predator.
Which, yeah, they've been around for a while.
Yeah, they've been around for a while, but have never I think maybe they've gotten like top 16 a few times, but have never made it to top 8. I know the team Yorkies just because I know one of the players from a long time ago. They always join, but they never get too far. I think their best debut is like top 16 maybe. So yeah, definitely a couple. Other than that, Sixth Sense, Trap. Chad, if you guys see anyone as well, feel free to say something. Ritz says Vigilantes? I don't know.
I don't see anyone here. Maybe they're upcoming.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Next page. Damn, look at this fucking logo, bro. Kitsune Thanatos.
That's insane.
That's Mr. Shrekky. This is, if for best logo of the season, I give it to Kitsune Thanatos.
Yeah, that's intense.
All right, so we got Legacy. We got Idealix look familiar. I know that's a name that's been a name that has joined several times. And Team Ace ?
That is unfortunately not the same Team Ace. Team Ace, as we knew them, I don't think they're still together. I don't believe they are. But they're not in this NACT, I know that for sure.
All right, so Legacy has now dropped Riles, where Riles has joined Aether Explicit, whatever way you want to put it. And they now, we know Whoopi, we know Kuya Ken, we know Kuya Nash. They all played in top 8 last season. They literally like 8th place, but they have played with the big dogs. So do you have any thoughts on this team? Do you think they are a possible steal team?
As much as I hate to say it, I don't think so. I mean, yes, they do have good players on here, but I don't see them, reaching that level. I don't, in fact, on this page, I wouldn't really say that that any of these teams are making it, but you never know. Could always be a surprise.
Wrath is harsher than me, man.
I don't mean to hurt anyone's feelings. I'm sorry if any of these players.
I'm just messing with you. I'm normally much rougher than this. You're good.
Yeah, and I hope that I'm wrong. Of course, I hope that I'm wrong. I hope
8 teams from this page make it and nobody else does.
So true. Absolutely. We want to see you out there, guys.
All
But
right.
yeah, that's just my prediction. So we'll see.
Oh, wait. What I'll do, I think, is I'm gonna put Wrath up here. Yeah, there we go. That's better. We'll put Wrath up here. Other than that, we just have the team that he was blocking was Divinity NA, which also this team they have a cool logo, but I don't know anyone on the team. So yeah, I think that's it for this page. There's not a whole lot to talk about. Sorry if this is one of your guys' teams. Again, chat, if you guys have a team that we want to look at, feel free to drop to let me know and in chat. After that, we have GG on this roster. They didn't put their name in right, but that's okay.
Yeah, you know, it looks like they're in here twice too. So my guess is that
they are in here
they
twice,
were
yeah.
like they
Did
were
the same
in
thing
here like they were put in here maybe by the tournament admins or something because like they get a guaranteed entrance into the regular season and then they also created their own profile. That's what I guess happened.
Why does Mobazane have a little symbol next to his name? Got like a little, is it a money bag?
I don't know what that is. That's actually a good question.
I'm gonna click on his name
It
and
looks
see.
like Spade has it too. It might be because they're listed. Are those like the subs or no? I don't. It's not. I don't know what that is. It's a good question. But it's good to see Zane.
6?
6. Yeah,
okay.
it's good to see Zane finally, listed with GG. I think if people have been watching his streams, it's been a long time coming, but it's good to see it, finally on paper. And of course, this team has a special place in my heart, being that I was with them for a while. So they're easily, I would say, a top two team, and they're another team that is right up there with C9. I'd say has a good chance to take it all.
Okay. Any other big thoughts on this team? Do you like so we know that like for I think the big like shock here was it seems like Zane and Hoon have been like having fun, like chatting it up and on pretty good terms. So whatever beef everyone thought there was or whatever was going on there seems to have been solved, which is really cool for me. Kind of makes my insides a little happy, because nobody likes to see like, players on opposite teams seem to have like visual problems with each other,
Yeah. I think that the community, as they tend to do, kind of blew things out of proportion a lot, It's their private business, obviously, so I won't talk about that. But like, I'm also glad to see them back together. It's kind of an iconic duo, if you will. And I mean, this team, if you think about it,
it's just
is
iconic. Yeah.
it's only one member away from the original BTK. Of course, not in the same roles, but
or the original
it's as close
or
as we've
TOB.
gotten.
Pretty much, it's pretty much like Zia and Basic are the two interchangeables, right?
Yeah,
or no,
and I
it's
mean,
BTK
obviously,
without Cardi or TOB without Basic.
yeah.
So the two teams that have done the best in M Series, that's back together. Shark, White. I think the big thing here is going to be the like what I think everyone's eyes are going to be on is like Shark, White Chicken, Zane, their synergy back together. But then even then, but then you've had Hoon, Shark, and Zia forming synergy for the past year. So like it just feels like if we ever took 5 players, like all these 5 players have probably played together the most out of a lot of teams, in terms of like a competitive sense.
For sure. I mean, they've probably got thousands of games all together, just practicing, because they've just always been on the same teams. But I think, they're a top 2 team with Cloud9 in my book right now. I feel like the other top teams, I mean, we talked about Nighthorde, Gosu, and OSP, they have strong players, but in past seasons, those teams have just never been able to quite, take the crown away from these two. So maybe we'll see something different.
Hot take question, and I'm going to ask this to Chad as well. Who do we think is going to be the star, like the standout of this team? Like if you had to pick one player that you think is going to make the most oh shit moments, like who do we think is going to be the star player? I already kind of have my person or maybe 2 in mind. I want to ask Chad and I want to ask you, Wrath.
Oof,
Like
that's
if you had to pick
tough.
one player that you think is going to be like him this season, and if they go to internationals, will be him, who do you think it's going to be?
I'd honestly just have to say Shark. I
Okay.
think Shark, he's been to every M series. He's been to more internationals, I think, than almost any other player except maybe Zayn. I don't know the exact numbers on
Yeah, I think
that, but
Zayn just caught up to him. I
yeah,
think
probably with
Zayn
MSC.
Basic might have caught up to him as well. But I don't know. We'll see. They're all getting pretty close now. Now that Shark missed this last one, um,
Yeah.
so
I
just
mean, Shark is Shark, he's arguably, I mean, yes, Cole World was on the team that beat him, but he's just been a staple in like the top teams of the competitive scene in NA for years and years. And I think that, set tanks are coming back a little bit. It's kind of, you see some supports, you see some set tanks, and Shark is one of the best roamers out there. So I think he shines even in this top level. So I think he's definitely someone that could stand out. But
all right.
honestly, every player in this team is
Has the odd
one of the
opportunity.
best in their role. Yeah, so it could honestly be anyone. We'll just have to see how they perform in the
Yep.
tournament.
I think for me, my eyes are going to be heavily on Zia this season. I think back in M5, for me personally, I felt like Zia played the best on the team. Some people disagree, whatever. I think they all kind of played rough in M5, but Zia was kind of the standout for me. Um, and I think Zia, I don't know, I really think that this might be the team that Zia, I mean, Zia's always kind of been a solid player. He doesn't ever get too crazy. Like he doesn't take the risks that maybe Basic takes sometimes. And I think with this team around him, Zia has a lot of opportunity to really pop off. My thoughts were kind of Zia Shark, and I think a lot of people in chat said Zia. A lot of people said Shark. A couple people said Zane Shark, and that combo also sounds disgusting too. I'm excited to see how this team moves around, like whether they take a more laning phase approach, whether they because lately the teams that Zane's been on, they haven't been super strong in the laning phase, and normally it's always like Hoon Shark. They're aggressive. They can be pretty aggressive laning phases, at least in NACT. So it's going to be interesting to see how Zayn adapts to that. Is he going to become a much more early game jungle? Like, I'm just excited to see how this team evolves now that everyone has gone separate ways a little bit, come back together. Like what play styles do they adapt and everything. It's definitely going to be interesting. But yeah, my eyes are going to really be heavily on Zia this season. I really want to see him take it to the next level. Because I
Me
don't think
too.
he's like some of the other players. I worry that they plateau, and I don't think Zia's hit that yet. I think Zia can still kind of go plus ultra. Like I think he still has another 110% in him. I think he's only gotten better as a gold laner every season. So I'm excited to see like what he brings to the table this next season and the years to come. So
Absolutely. I love that guy. I love all the guys on that team really. And I want to see the best for them. So, you know, that's my I would just say that that's, they have, like I said before, they have a special place in my heart. That was my team for a while, so, I want to see them perform as well as they can.
oh yeah. We also have
Um,
so on this board. Someone said Void Paradise. Void Paradise. I see Void Assassin. Void
is that the
Tresassin.
same?
I don't know any of these people. Not gonna lie.
I don't know.
Good
I don't know
luck.
them either.
Good
But
luck.
yeah, I do see. I know. So Kunara is like a team that's formed out of some players that I recognize.
Ooh, Gal's on there. Gal's Cutie's on there.
Yeah,
And Jules Cutie.
Gals and Jules, and then remember that team Aim High that I was telling you about?
Yeah.
Some of those players are in here, Akiro and Raver. Both of them are like 800, 900 star ranked players this season.
Okay.
Like their Aim High was like one of those teams that unless they're going up against like GG or C9, they're pretty much not going to lose in rank. So they were, one of the teams that I was really excited about seeing. Unfortunately, they disbanded, but maybe, in this team, Kunara, they can still shine through. But I
Yeah,
guess we'll see.
definitely a
This is
steel
a
team.
team,
I think just with Gals
yeah,
and Jules alone, Like having Gals and Jules with as experienced top 8 players, top 4 players, have won past NACTs way back under Area 77, and then with having the good ranked players like you're saying, definitely a steal team.
Yep, for sure. And I mean, I see other teams here that I recognize as well, godlike skills, half wits, but I don't really see them uh, making it to top 8. But it's good to see, repeat teams. It's good that they're not just disappearing after losing once. A lot of
Yeah.
teams don't make it that first try, and after a couple seasons, maybe they have a breakthrough. So
Got Trash here, which I think last season was T-Rash. I know Dino looks familiar. We got Burrito Boy from Nova, Kesh from Nova. So also familiar faces. Who else from
and I know
Halfwoods? M Boy's a familiar face.
mhm. Last Minute has some pretty good players there too. I don't know if they'd make it top 8, but I think this is definitely a top 16 team most likely, unless they get unlucky. I know Pro Destroy's in there, Sky, Yellow. Those are all good players that you see in top ranked games frequently. So
All right,
maybe they'll surprise us.
next page.
Hmm.
MOBA Guild sounds familiar.
There's Void Paradise.
Shadow 9, Void Paradise.
The Asian Disappointments. Oh
Are
my
they
gosh, they're
back?
back. They are
Where?
back.
Oh, does it have Ashley in it? Ashley
No,
on the team?
does
No, but you
not.
have Ooga Booga. You have R.
Zero. Chow
Zero.
Pao.
Okay. This is a steal team for sure.
I think they could definitely,
I mean, Hanabi's kind
surprise
of on the
people.
border of meta right now, too.
Yeah,
Hanabi
I mean, have you
Lolita is
seen?
getting played in
Yeah,
MPL right now, so.
it's crazy. That is a scary strategy right there.
Wait, hold on one
Um,
second. Moonlight Club in the chat. Moonlight Club, tell me how you did it. Tell me how you put your name in front of my favorite team. And this is not, I'm not saying this in a hateful way at all. I just want to know the deal. How did it happen? I swear to God, if you guys tarnish the Simpsons names, I'll be coming for you. I'll be coming for you. Not NDC, non-disclosure. All right, back to this. So we know that. So the Asian Disappointment's definitely a possible steal team.
However, there's another team in here that I think is guaranteed top 8, and I think they're called Maple Leaf, and you're definitely gonna recognize the players in there when you click on
Ooh,
them. You got
sheesh.
Yureshi, Gina, J-Law. J-Law, I believe, is a pro player from the Philippines who moved here.
Okay.
Nasty Wayne is actually also a pro player from the Philippines. I believe he played for TNC, MDL. So he's
Okay.
got stage experience. This is, I think, a guaranteed top 8 for sure.
Cool.
I think they could definitely
Yeah,
do
Smiling
really
as
well.
manager. Smiling's always surrounding herself with good players, so much respect to Smiling. Another
Yeah.
hard worker behind the scenes. Real quick to respond to Moonlight Club, we worked out a good deal where it was beneficial for both parties. All right, glad to hear that. As long as both parties are happy and everyone's happy, OSP will always have my support. Gorillas in the chat. You guys, if they make it to top 8, you'll be hearing me cast a lot of that every time a big play happens. And we're going to need you guys to drop gorilla emojis in the chat. That's the rule of thumb, all right, guys? But are you happy? As long as they do okay, yeah, I'm happy. I just can't guarantee I will always remember to call them MLCOSP. That actually doesn't sound bad. MLCOSP. We'll find a way to make it sound good, to roll off the tongue. So we have Maple Leaf. We got Yureshi, Gina. Fucking just Yureshi and Gina alone. And then, like you said, Nasty Wayne, Pavel, J-Law. So definitely maybe not even just a steal team, but a top 8.
I think
feel
that's
like
a top 8. I think
top
that's
8.
top 8.
All right.
Yeah.
I definitely think it's possible. Who else do we have here?
I
Mobile
recognize Shadow
Guild,
9,
Shadow 9, yeah.
but I don't see any other teams.
They've never
in
been a
this
team
stage.
that's completely proved themselves.
Yeah. I mean, Hunters has some good players on it. I don't know if I'd say they're top 8 level, but maybe top 16.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think there's anyone else I'd say here other than those two that have a good chance. Potentially, what is
MOBA
this?
Guild. MOBA Guild, I know has been like a top 16 before, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
But
I think so.
until we say you
I
guys
don't.
are A tier, you got to make it a top 8. So,
Yep.
or you have to
I
like
mean,
be a team. I don't know, like some teams that maybe have never made it to top 8, they have a player or two that has been there, done that before, so they kind of at least like bring my eye to them. And to like any team that like doesn't have any of those players, and you're just a team that's been grinding at it for the past 2 years, when I don't consider you for top 8, it's no hate at all. Like Rat said earlier, like we hope that you prove us wrong and you fucking become a team that catches our eye. But for now, you still gotta prove yourselves.
yeah, I see this team in the bottom right, Soda and Eka. I know that these are like ancient players here. Soda, Kenray, Daggers, Shanty. They're like they were. I mean, obviously Kenray was one of the members of the original Team Gosu in M1. So
Oh
um,
yeah.
at least I think he was. Actually, wait, no, maybe he wasn't, but he was in Gosu back then for sure. Um, and I mean, Soda, Daggers, Shanty, I recognize those names from like 2017, 2018, 2019. Like I haven't ever seen them perform really well in a tournament, but they were very good players back then. So they're likely still pretty good now. So maybe they could surprise us as well.
Oh yeah. All right, next page.
Yep. Let's see.
Oh, who do we got? Who do we got? I don't know anyone here. I'm not gonna lie.
Um, hmm.
Oh, we got
I
AV's
don't
team.
know.
We got AV
Yeah, I
Gaming's
saw
team.
that.
Ocean Kingdom.
I don't
I'll
know if
be
all these Void
cheering from
teams are
you
like
from very far away.
related.
All the Void teams.
Yeah, there's
Hey
like
man.
that's like the third or fourth Void
Yeah, we
team
have
we've
Void
seen.
Paradise. I'm gonna smoke you. All right, yep, I'm gonna smoke them. Imagine having like 3 teams and still never being in top 8.
Damn, that's tough. That is tough.
I'm sorry, but I just always find that like, and I'm not trying to hate. I'm sorry, I had to let one off. I love you guys, but I'm always confused. I'll see B tier teams, and I'm sorry until you get to top 8, you're not an A or S tier. But I'll see like teams, and they'll have like it'll be like this academy, this and they'll have like 3 bench teams, but they don't even have a. So I don't know. Spend more time on just on your main 5, boys. Spend more time on your main 5. That's my
Yep.
advice.
Yeah, and I found that funny, in the past too. It's nice to see that, there's a community within those teams that's so big, but I definitely hope that those
I guess
teams
that's what
can,
it is. It's like Discord servers, and there's just so many
yeah.
friends. It's like if you have like 15 friends and they all want to be on the team, then yeah, you just make a bunch of. So that makes sense, I guess. So that's more fair. That's more fair. I can
But
defend
yeah,
it now.
I hope they can, at least send one of those teams up into the top 8, but we'll see. We will see. Other than them though, I don't really
Yeah,
recognize.
this is not the real Team Secret, guys.
No, I don't
It's
really
just
recognize
you're not that
these
guy
other
though. Good
teams.
name. The
Yeah, I don't
Dreamville.
see.
Guys, you're putting a lot of weight on your team name, Dreamville. You got Dreamville in your name. You gotta live up to that, bro. You got J. Cole on your name, bro. No apologies here, all right, guys. All right, next page.
Yeah. Okay, let's see.
Invalid
Okay,
Boys are familiar.
I recognize some of these teams. I know James and Friends, the leader of that team. I actually met him in real life at one of those meetups I was telling you about. I don't know if they're top 8, but top 8 quality, but they're
Okay.
good. Let's see who else. Invalid Boys, another team with some good players.
Yeah, I know the name.
Um,
We've seen Invalid Boys a few times during season, so
let's
never
see.
top 8 though. Maybe top 16 peak.
Maybe, yeah. Hmm. Yeah,
Tupapi Esports.
I don't really see too
Tupapi.
much else.
Upper Empire. Yeah, don't know anyone else here. I'm not gonna lie. Bro, can
You
we just
know,
talk about this person's name though?
wait, which one?
First player in Starfall, Angelic Butterfly.
Oh
You
wow.
can say it if you want, bro.
I don't think I want to be saying that out loud on the internet.
The Throat Goat. What
That's
a
an
name,
interesting
bro.
name.
What does that
Uh,
mean, bro?
yeah, maybe if that team does well, he'll explain where he got that name from.
Or she. Maybe it's a
Or
girl.
she. Could
Maybe
be
it's
a
a
girl.
girl, bro.
Could be a girl. You're right. Can't assume.
All right, next
But
page.
yeah. Okay,
I think
let's
we're
see.
going to just. I know a couple of these
Ooh.
names. I know a couple of these names.
Ooh.
We got Overskilled, War Angels, Limitless, all Overskill. Or I already said that. Those are. I think Only the Finest looks familiar as well. Those are all names that stand out to me here.
Yeah, so there's definitely quite a few here. I'd say Overskilled is a team that I'm expecting to make top eight. Now
Ooh.
they could get upset, but I think there's a lot of really strong players in this team. Um, and I think they should be at least making top 16, if if not top eight. But I would
Okay.
say out of the teams that I said, like, I'm pretty sure are gonna make top 8, I'd say they're, like, at the bottom of that. Like, I think they have a really good chance. I wouldn't say it's guaranteed,
All right.
but I know they've been strong in rank. They've been beating a lot of good people. Um, other than them, I mean, obviously Monarchy has been around for a while. War Angels played in, the MWI
Ethereal too.
qualifiers. Yep, Ethereal,
We have a fake Joe
Finest.
boy. Kage Terror. That
But
name looks familiar.
out of those teams, I don't think any of them have a good chance of making it other than Overskilled.
Wait.
But
War Angels
um,
were War
they were
Angels
in
were what's it called, right?
MWI
MWI,
qualifiers.
right? So it's a girls team.
Yeah. Yes, as a girls team.
We got
Which
Etcha,
is
Yujiro, Tihinis, Barry, all that good stuff.
which is honestly, it's really good to see them sticking together, to see that it wasn't just like a bunch of girls throwing together a team just to play in
Yeah.
that, It looks like they're sticking together and hoping to make it maybe in the next girls tournament
Yeah, or
qualifier.
maybe even get to top 8 here. That'd be really cool.
It would for sure.
Your face seems
Um,
doubtful.
I mean,
I'm just
I don't want to
messing.
hate. I don't want to stir up too much drama,
I'm
but
just kidding. No, I mean,
I'm
it
not
would be
saying
really
anything.
cool if they made it. I mean, of
It
course,
would be
it's hard competition. If they have been playing, like I will say this, if this is like pretty much the same, I don't remember the exact lineup, but if this is the same lineup from the women's qualifiers, just that in itself, synergy could do wonders. And if they did make it, it'd be the first all-female team in the history of NACT. So let's keep our eyes on War Angels.
for sure, for sure. Agree. I'm hoping to see the Cloud9 girls team in here, but
There's a player
I haven't
called
seen
Nika
them yet.
Latte.
I saw that. I
Hell
saw
yeah.
that.
Let's go Limitless.
Yeah. Yeah. Other than Overskilled, I'm not really betting on any of these other teams. But
Overskilled.
I think one of the nice things about NACT is that you can see the qualifiers streamed often. And, a lot of the qualifier matches won't be with popular teams in them. And it provides like a lot of insight into what the level is, not just at the very top, but seeing where, the rest of the community is and how they're developing. So, a lot of these teams where I'm saying like, I don't think they have a great chance of making it, that could easily be proven wrong. All they have to do is upset one of these big teams and it puts their name out there. So you never
That's
know.
true. We've seen it in the past. Do you remember
Yeah.
like what was it, like a year and a half ago, or like it was right after M4? When that team beat BTK?
Oh, no, that was before M4,
That was
I
right
think.
after M3. Maybe it was right after M3.
Yeah. Oh my God, what were they called? I know exactly what you're talking
It's
about.
the
Oh my
team that's
God.
a Mexican team. They were most of the players are a
Yeah.
Mexican team.
Wait, no,
Um,
was it Out Meta? I don't think it was Out Meta.
they changed their name, but
No.
they played in NASL. They were a Hispanic team.
I'm pretty sure though, they literally didn't they beat BTK and then like lose in the next round or something?
Maybe someone said
Like
Meta. The team name was Meta.
Team Meta, yeah, that's right. And then after that, it was like that. After that, then there was Team First Blood that dominated for like one or two tournaments,
Yeah.
and then I think after that, then the Valley started forming. But
No, it wasn't. Someone said TSU. It wasn't TSU that knocked them out. TSU was a very popular Mexico team, but it wasn't. It was a different Mexico. It was like a. It was like the off-brand TSU. But
was it
anyways,
Team Meta? That's so far back,
I
I
could
can't
go
even
back and
remember.
figure. I could go look on what's it called. Maybe we'll look it up. We'll look it up later. But yeah, they got. I remember they got knocked out.
Yeah. Um, it's the sad thing is just though that like a lot of players from those teams that were big like 2, 3, 4 years ago, it's just like the players are getting to that age where they're either entering
Yeah,
college
it's
or
like do or
graduating
die.
college, and
Yeah.
they're having to start real life really, and it's hard to find time to fit Mobile Legends into real life a lot of the time. For me personally, that's like why I ended up not staying with uh, TOB or GG, was just because I couldn't fit it into my like real life schedule at the time. So I think that's the case for a lot of players as well.
Oh yeah. But I have a ant trail in my garage for some reason, and I don't know what it's going to. It's bothering the shit out of me right now.
Yeah, you should check on
Anyways,
that.
yeah,
Ants
I'm
are never a good
sorry.
sign.
No, they're not. And I'm like, I don't think I have any food anywhere. I don't know. Anyways, well, I'll look at it after stream. It keeps throwing me off though.
Yeah,
All
would throw
right.
me off too.
Next page. Next page. I think so. We pointed out Overskilled, War Angels, Dark Legion looks familiar. Limitless, the name's familiar. Only the Finest is a familiar name. But yeah, you said Overskill is the only team of really note here that you think is going to make it to top 8.
Yeah, that's what I'd say. My
All right.
prediction.
Next
Um,
page. We Smoke You looks familiar. Other than that, none of these team names look familiar.
I'm not seeing too much either, and you can see. Oh, I've seen Mad Dogs before. I don't think they're
Looks
top 8 team or anything though, but I do recognize them. Nine Blades, I recognize. I'm not seeing any top 8 probables here though, and I hope that these teams were able to complete their team before the registration closed, because I
yeah, a
believe it
lot of
is
these might
over
be the
now.
incompletes, which happens a lot. Like some of these just might not end up being in. So I don't think any of
Yeah,
these are really worth. We can do a quick skim through to see if there's anybody, but I think most of these are just teams that weren't able to finish.
yeah, or they have like, yeah. Oh man, when you click on them, it takes you away from that page. That's annoying.
All right. Was that it?
I mean, we can take like a look through the incomplete teams, but a lot of these are just like literally one person. Like the last couple of pages is just one person on the
So
team.
let's give a quick. I'm gonna pull up Discord real fast. Let's do a quick who we think, quick possibilities for top 8, ideas for top 8s. Page 1. I might come back. Definitely Cloud9, GG, obviously. Cloud9, GG. Do we think Gosu Night Horde?
I think so. I'd say they would. They're gonna make it.
Horde. I'll put this
Oh,
team
the
in.
list that I made so far is GG and C9 for sure. Nighthorde Gosu, and then OSP, Maple Leaf, and Overskilled.
Okay. Give me 1 second. I'm going to make mine. Where was that team that had where's the undercover team that had the bangers on it?
Oh, are you talking about Joy Bodge's team?
Yeah.
Or
Or no, that one
oh,
too.
that's
No, Maple Leaf. That was
yeah,
the
Maple
team.
Leaf.
Maple Leaf. How many do I have right here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more slots. 2 more slots. Right now, currently, I'm looking at Cloud9, GG, Night Horde, Simpsons, Maple Leaf. Is S2 the Joybotch team?
No, that's Godspeed. Godspeed is the Joy Bodge team.
Definitely. I think I'm throwing S2 on there, man.
I hope they make it. I really want to see Kohari the Brave bringing out that aggressive marksman again,
What's Zero's
making some
team?
plays. Oh, the Asian Disappointments.
That's another banger. Where are they at again? Let me look at them real fast. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Page's Godspeed on. Let me look at that team one more time.
I think it was in the first
Page
couple
2, I
pages,
got
maybe
it.
like, yeah.
Just for Baji, I'm going to put them on here. All right.
And you know, I mean, I'd love to see this be the tournament that Apex Predators finally makes it. I was in that squad for a while, actually, a long
Ooh.
time ago. And I mean, they've played almost every NACT up until this point, just never quite made it. So maybe this will be the one for them. We'll see. They've definitely got some good players in there. If you know, if you remember Sleeps from Bloodhounds, I believe he's playing for them. They've got a player who played, I believe, in the professional league in Vietnam who moved here.
I think this is my lineup. This is Cloud9, GG, Night Horde, S2, Simpsons, Maple Leaf, Asian Disappointments, and Godspeed.
That's a strong lineup right there. You leaving out Overskilled?
I think so. I think. I
Wait.
mean, I think I'm putting the there. I mean, I would put the like them, Asian Disappointments, S2. Like for me, my definites I think are Cloud9, GG, Night Horde, Simpsons. I think, and probably Maple. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think Maple Leaf, Simpsons, Night Horde, GG, Cloud9 are like my definites.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're like my. I don't think these teams are not going to make it. So I would say that's what 4 or 5. Maple Leafs maybe are a possibility to like maybe be on the lower tier, but I think Cloud9, GG. So like if I had to just pick 4 teams for S, it would be like Cloud9, GG, Night Horde, Simpsons. I really got a feeling Maple Leaf are going to get in there too. And then I would probably put like S2, Asian Disappointments, Godspeed, Overskilled, and maybe like 1 or 2 more teams as like the possibilities of like those are the teams that are going to be fighting for slots. I don't know Overskilled enough to put them in my like guaranteed. But yeah, I think that's my guess right now. What do you got? Give me your lowdown.
I mean, I've got guaranteed GG, C9, Night Horde, Gosu, OSP, and Maple Leaf.
Okay.
And then, so that's just 5. I think if any of those teams, I mean, obviously GG and C9 aren't guaranteed, but if the other 3 didn't make it, I would be shocked. And then for most likely going to make it, I've got Godspeed, S2, Asian Disappointments, and Overskilled.
Okay. So
And
similar
that's
list.
9 total. Yeah, it's 9 total. So, I mean, potentially they could play each other in early rounds, though, which would like maybe knock some of them out. But
yeah, we do, and I can't
prediction.
forget about Novacore. Someone just said Novacore could get to top 8 again. Do they actually have?
True.
Will they actually be able to play in top 8? That's the question. Because they made it last time and they had issues and could not make it in. So we'll see. I think
Aether
we do,
Explicit.
out of respect, I have to put them in there. Aether Explicit is another possible team. They seemed confident. One of their players actually reached out to me not too long ago because I think they needed like a team manager. I personally am not managing any teams right now, and I won't. But he seemed confident. He's like, hey, we need a manager because you have to have like a manager on the list of your team. So I think honestly they were just kind of like, do you want to do this for us? I don't even think I can. It's kind of a weird place, and I always feel weird about that. if I'm gonna like invest into a team, I want to like actually invest into a team. Um,
I know what
so
you're
yeah,
saying.
but they seemed kind of like the dude like messaged me and was like, we got some really good players on our team and da 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 da. So yeah,
Yeah, interestingly, so like I said, I've been playing with them kind of a lot this season, and I know like one of their players has like 1,200 stars or something, so they're definitely practicing a lot. So, they could definitely show us something.
yeah. Is there anyone else that's a possible team for us? We got War Angels. We'll see.
Maybe.
Go
Before
Girl
you,
Power.
maybe,
Before you,
maybe.
maybe another possible. And I
Maybe Apex Predator.
yeah. Do you know what's going to be the rule of thumb on like creating their own lobby? Like, is it just is this all going to be like is matchups going to be completely random? And is there a bracket posted yet?
Well, I don't think it's been posted yet, but there
Will it
should
been
be.
posted yet?
Oh, okay. I think there is something on here, but I don't
And will
know
it always
I
just
don't
be
think
that?
it's
So
the
there is. I
finalized
don't know if
one.
this is the final. Is it just going to be like? So is it best of? I can't remember. Is it best of threes for this for
For
qualifiers,
this,
or is it best of
I think
ones?
it's just best of one. Let me verify that though. But in terms of the organization, the qualifiers is very like it's organized outside of like the actual NACT management. So like what I believe the bracket is going to be on StarGG, but the matches will be hosted by the teams actually playing each match, and the results will be just reported. Now, of
Yeah.
course, some
So
of
what's going to
the
be rule
like
of
big
thumb
teams
on
will just.
who hosts their match? That's my question.
I think it's just decided between the two teams. Like if it's a West and an East, then it's
The
probably gonna be a
player
central
most
lobby.
central.
Yeah,
Yep.
and then like
Yeah.
obviously two West will host on West, two East will host on
Yeah.
East. But
All right. So, but wait. So because I was under the impression that it was going to be like just a custom game make, or are players
I
getting
think that's
access to
how it
tourney?
is.
Yeah. So that's what I'm
I
saying.
think
So
it's
like
just custom.
that's where I do think like there is going to be some room for possible upsets here. Of course, since it's double elimination, it helps with that a bit. And I'm sure the players will like whoever like they'll pick a player to host the lobby that is like if it's East and West, they'll pick a player most central. And things like that. But yeah, there is some possibilities for upsets just due to ping issues, I think. So,
Yeah.
like, and of course, I mean, over like we said in the very beginning of the stream, like the stronger teams do normally always prevail, even through ping issues and things like that. But there is room for some teams to maybe just sliver their way through.
Yep. And I mean it is best of one, but it's double elimination. So
Gotcha.
as long as you don't lose twice, if that does happen, like you said, where a strong team gets upset because of like a ping issue or just maybe bad drafting or something, they will have another chance. So
Yep.
that I think is just kind of a fail safe and having a weaker team accidentally slip through.
Yeah.
So
To Moonlight Club. No, qualifiers will still be best of one. Best of four is going to be the season format.
yeah,
But qualifiers is going to be just like it's always been, best of one. The only big difference this time is they opened the door that as many teams as they wanted could join. And due to that, manpower isn't really possible to handle that many. Because normally we always limit it to, 64 teams? So it's a bit easier. You get like 10 mods to host games for 3 days on a tournament lobby. But because Moonton has decided to open the doors that pretty much any team that meets the requirements can join, there's no team cap. Teams will now host their own games.
yep. And of course, once the regular season starts, it'll all
And
be
that's
handled
true. A
by the
lot of these
NACT
teams
committee. But
do have lobbies too. Like tournament lobbies are a lot more accessible. So Moonlight said that teams that have lobbies will be able to host with their lobbies. So that's a good point too.
and it's also, I mean, the people who have lobbies are kind of known, like for example, like the managers of the big teams. So they might ask those managers or whoever has those lobbies just to
Yeah.
host it for them, just to make it easier. But it's not a requirement as far as I know.
Yeah.
So,
Um,
and I know they will be, of course, like streaming, even though the qualifiers will be not handled by the NACT committee. Um, I know that some of the community streamers will be uh, like spectating and streaming some of those qualification matches, especially for the bigger, more popular teams, so that the community can just see how that's going. You know.
nice. Quick question. Someone just brought up. T's not playing, huh?
I
He's not on a
don't.
team.
I
And then
I
Tarzan
think
either?
I don't think Tarzan is playing. I don't think he is.
That's sad.
But for T, I don't. I
Nicolette's
guess
not either, huh?
not. Yeah, I don't think
She
Nicolette
was on
is.
the shoot. Why Moonlight Club? Why'd she leave the roster? We got you here. She was on the roster for like a week. We need answers. Probably because Yato's on it, and she might have not gotten to play. I don't know.
Yeah, and I know they also have Maggie on, so that's two mages already.
Yeah.
Nicolette, yeah.
Maybe they played for the slot and she didn't make the cut. I don't know.
With regards to T, I'm really not sure if he isn't playing. Now, I know some of the players like to change their names, and for the
But
most
maybe he's
part, I
under
can
a
keep
different
up with
name.
it. But yeah, it could be that he's just under something that I don't recognize, and he is in there somewhere. But
Fair enough.
I don't know with regards to him, but I hope he's playing. I mean, he's a great player. I'd love to see him playing in one of the top teams, but I guess we'll just have to see. And it doesn't. Another interesting thing is it doesn't seem like the C9 girls team is playing this NACT, so it might just be taking a break, or I'm really not sure.
They're slipping. They should be playing.
I agree. I think they should be too.
I wish I'd get a
But
sponsorship and just not play.
I think it might be a roster issue. Like, I don't want to get too into it, but I'm not sure if the entire team is staying together or not. But
Someone
that could
said
be
Tarzan easily top 3 jungler in NA. How can he not play?
Ooh, that is a hot take.
That is hot. It's not. I'm gonna be honest. It's not too hot. It is.
It's not too hot.
I mean, the number. If we put best player in Zane in number 1 and 2, I think the number 3 slot is up for grabs. Some of the candidates being Tarzan and Kush probably. I'm trying to think of who else is on the up for grab slot for number 3. Do
Maybe
you agree that at
Dez.
least
What
Tarzan
about
and
Dez?
Kush? Dez? So for me,
Yeah.
Dez still needs to prove himself in the NA lineup. He's done great down in South America and Mexico on teams. He got second place in the ML Super League or whatever, right behind old Ignite, TSU, all that stuff, and we've seen him do wonders down there. But we haven't seen him make. Has he played? Like, he's been a sub, but has he played on a top 8 team yet in NA? Like, actively played. He has
feel like
not
he
yet.
has.
He
I feel
hasn't.
like he has, but really, like never.
He was
I mean,
on bench for GG, right? Or like
Well,
bench for
yeah.
Ghost. Like, he's never. I don't think he's ever actually played in a. I don't even think he's played in a game. Like, come off bench and played in a game in top 8.
You could
So
be
he's in
right,
this
but
weird spot for me because I've never actually casted one of his games, and I know like there's a lot of hype around Dez. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to like downplay him. There's a lot of hype around Dez, and a lot of people always talk about it. But for someone who has just casted like NACT games, like, I haven't gotten the chance to really see him play because I don't have time to like go and watch streams and stuff like that. So for me, it's a weird spot. Like, I can't personally put him in top 3 because I just haven't seen it in action yet.
I mean, that's fair enough. I think he definitely is someone who, given the chance, could prove himself to be one up there. But if
I hope so. It'd be hype.
You're right. I mean, I don't think he's played in any of those teams either, which is kind of surprising. But I guess just because he's been busy with up until like recently, he's been busy playing in South America or in like Central America, I guess. But now that he's here, I hope he can make a big impact. But yeah, other than those 4, I'm trying to think too. I mean, Overskilled has Myth. S2 has S2.
Someone said Tarzan the clear number 3 after last season. Des hasn't proved nothing since his Ignis days, unfortunately. He may be washed now. A lot can change him. Well, Des has played a lot, though. It's not like Des has stopped playing. So I think if he makes it to top 8 this season, he is definitely like a contender. I do agree with the fact that, I don't know, Tarzan, in terms of numbers, in terms of like rankings and how far a player has gotten in NACT, Tarzan, I think, has at least earned the number. Whether you like agree, whether you think it was him or you think it was the team around him, Tarzan has the most high placings in NACT outside of best player and Zane. Tarzan has the most high placings, I think, in terms of jungler.
Probably him and Kush. I mean, Kush
has sat out too many seasons. That's the problem.
That's true.
Kush is, so in terms of just NACT, Tarzan definitely, I think, has the current like number 3 title. Kush could definitely, that's, someone just said, the question is Kush simply just doesn't have enough accolades to be in the question, and I think that's a fair statement. Kush is another one who has gone and played in South America a bit. He played for, TSU, Ignis, whatever, all that stuff. So, someone said, AV Gaming just shots fired, bro. Like I said, number 1 Zane, number 2 Tarzan, number 3 just a player.
Damn.
Gaming, bro.
Wow.
The
I think somebody doesn't like
fired
very much.
I called him just a bro. You won the internet tonight. Much love to best player, but that was a good one, bro. I think even best player would laugh at that one.
It seems like a lot of people actually think Tarzan's better than best player, but I'm seeing that in the chat more and more. I mean, they're pretty similar. Tarzan was an assassin player.
Yeah.
Back in the day,
Guapo, when he was Guapo and everything.
Yep.
I mean, you could definitely debate that. Like, if you put Tarzan in best players team, like if you put Tarzan back on GG or whatever, they might have gotten the same results. I
mean, I don't know. It's possible. Well, I guess we'll never know that for sure.
It's true. We won't ever know.
But I mean, yeah, Tarzan, I believe he was the jungler for the original The Valley. Like back when they first formed, like.
Yeah, so that was back NASL days, like when the Valley was like before the Valley picked up Zane and Chicken and all that. NASL and NASL season 2, it was Arvel. It was like Totnak, Arvel, all the not Totnak. It was Arvel, Basic, Guapo, who is Tarzan, and all them boys. And then they could never make it. Season 3, they came in so strong that season. I think they had Shark on the team. It was Shark, or I can't remember exactly, but it was best player. I was Basic and Gold and Tarzan, and they were beating everybody, man. Even like before they picked up fucking Zane and all that. They were doing very well, so like we can't sleep on Tarzan at all. He's also been a player who's adapted to each meta as it's come. Like he was an assassin player when tank meta came in. He played the tanks. He is not scared to switch roles at all. He rolls with the punches. So I think he's definitely a player we should keep our eyes on this season.
Yeah.
What team is Tarzan? No, he's not playing. No, Never mind.
He's not even playing.
He's not fucking playing.
Which is
That's sad. Yeah, which means we can't even put him in the rankings this season, guys. Like, we have to name a new number. If you put him as number 3 last season, it doesn't matter. Doesn't fucking matter, guys, because he's not here. Sad.
Yep. Very sad. But I think those are, I mean, out of the people who are playing this NACT, that's definitely the clear top 4. So, but I mean, it's not a one-man game, so it comes down to how good is the synergy, how good are the other players in their roles, and there's definitely a lot of talent out there. I mean, look at all those teams that we listed for reference. It's definitely going to be an exciting season, I think.
Oh yeah. Well, I know it's late for you. It's like 1 a.m. for us, Florida boys. You're now officially a Florida
Yeah.
Florida voice.
I
I
am.
think we could probably call it at that. It's only been an hour and a half, but I don't have a whole lot planned after this, and I have work tomorrow. Any last major points from you, Wrath?
Um, I would just say, yes, there's the big teams that we listed, but there's also almost 100 other teams, and that's, a lot of space, a lot of player talent to pull from. And so I hope that we can see some of them surprising us. It's obviously kind of boring to see the same teams over and over again. So I really hope that there's some big upsets, and just remember to all the viewers out there, just try to support NACT, try to support your community streamers like TREX. It's not easy to make it out there in the NA
It's hard out
scene.
here.
So, yep. So just like, subscribe, and really try to tune in and keep up with it. Support your favorite teams, your favorite players. And just because someone doesn't perform the best that they could possibly perform, try not to trash talk them too much. You
Oh yeah.
know, all the players are out there doing the best that they can. So just try to support them and have fun.
Last question, because someone just brought it up. Who's your bias this season? Who are some of your biases?
Ooh.
You're allowed to have a bias, bro.
am.
Don't be scared.
I mean, I obviously GG, I would say, is my number one. That's basically like, I just left them. I was
That's your
with
main.
them,
That's your
lived
main
with them
hoe.
for 2 months. Yeah,
Gotcha.
it is. Yeah, but best player Carlos. Like, I love that guy.
Outside of
Always
top
used to
two
hang out with
teams.
him.
Outside of top two teams.
Okay.
What team are you like rooting for? Like that might not even like for me. I don't know if OSP is gonna get to top two or anything like that, but I am kind of rooting for them this season. Like they'll be my bias team, because like GG, Cloud9, that's cop out, like whatever. We all know that those are the two teams that are probably going to make it to top two. But outside of them, who's your bias? Who's your cheerleader team?
Man, that's tough because I have friends in most of these teams, so I really want them all to do well. I would say probably either OSP or Night Horde. That's what I'd say.
All right.
One of those two. I want to see them. Like, obviously, they're a top team. They're for sure going to be top 8. But I want to see one of those guys overcome the hurdle that is GG and C9. I want to see one of them making it to the finals.
Finally.
I'd love to see that.
It would
Yeah,
be nice. It would be cool. Especially because
for
there's
sure.
there's no like 10 players on it, like like the big three to say. Like there's no Zane, there's no Basic, there's no Hoon, there's no Chicken. Like there's none of those. There's no Valley BTK on it, pretty much.
Yeah.
So if one of those two teams did it, it's like they would it would be like even when Avalon beat BTK, like it was still Basic. That was still a pretty big deal though when Avalon beat BTK and took the second place slot. But like if we could see one of these two teams do it, I think it's a pretty big statement. It would be pretty cool.
For sure. How about you? Do you have any biases this season?
Like I said, OSP is my bias. I think they're my bias. It would be nice to see Night Horde do well. I think that'd be pretty cool. But I will definitely. It's going to be Gorillas in the chat all season, bro.
For sure.
Gorillas in the chat
right
all season, bro.
Right there with you.
All right. Well, thank you, Wrath. It was a pleasure having you.
Thank you for having me.
No, really, it was nice to have someone in here to chat about all this stuff with. I appreciate it. I know we kept you up late. I'm going to probably spend a couple more minutes just talking to chat. But for now, you can get the fuck out of here.
All right. Well, once again, thank you for having me. And it was nice being here. And for sure, if you ever want to do something like this again, just hit me up. And thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for participating. And talk to you guys later.
Thank you.
See ya. Good night.
Don't forget to leave the room. Oh, he left. He's smart. All right, guys. That was fun. Rat's a nice guy. Listen, guys. Cool guy. Cool guy. Just know, for all you that are gonna be biased with me to OSP this season, and you weren't around back in the OSP days, oh my god, my Prime bill. Someone send me like $10 to pay for my YouTube Prime. Just kidding. Just know that whenever I'm casting and I say the word gorillas in the chat, this is what you do. Does everyone know the assignment? Does everyone know the assignment? Does everyone know the assignment? Who was here during my gorillas in the chat days? Back when I coined the phrase gorillas in the chat. Who was around for that? Monkeys. Not monkeys, gorillas, bro. Well, back in the prime days of The Simpsons, that was the phrase, gorillas in the chat. So, just so you know. Did Tarzan leave ML? I don't know, bro. We don't want that turquoise goat. For some reason, my chat thing won't bring it up. GG bias, but gonna support Simpsons too? Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Simpsons ever becomes an org, I'm just saying, Moonlight Club, if you guys ever become an official org, just let me know. I'll become your first streamer, your first signed streamer. I got you. The Monkeys Club. When TREX gonna play in NACT? Never, bro. When they kick me out as a caster, I'll start coaching. When I can't cast anymore, I'll start coaching, guys. Or if one of you guys want to start paying me to coach, I got you. I'll quit casting. If you guys pay me more than casting does, I'll coach. Full time. You guys can all move into my garage. We'll set this up. I'll put some bunk beds in here. We'll boot camp in this very room. We'll live stream the whole thing. We'll become a famous team. You guys can sleep on my floor. And in bunk beds. And yeah. Casting for MLBB doesn't pay. Depending on what, it depends on the game you're casting. Casting for MLBB is not bill pay money unless you live in Asia. C9 or GG? I think a lot of it's going to come... Honestly, I think a lot of it's going to come down to how best player and Zane perform. That's going to be the big thing for me, really. How they perform in current meta and on the servers. How ping is. I think, so here's the deal. Because I think it goes back and forth. Because I think Nats, if it ends up being like, I think EXP lane, Nats might play better than Chicken. Milo and Chicken's a closer matchup, maybe. Chicken might surprise us, but it felt kind of like last season, like Chicken is kind of peaked. Chicken needs to get back into prime Chicken. He needs to be that filet mignon Chicken, you know? If he can get back to that level, then I think we can see some great things. Mid lane, Mark Cutie is a contender. Let's be honest. Mark Cutie is a contender against Hoon. There's no more sugarcoating it. I kind of had my worries, but Mark Cutie has stepped up to the plate, and I think mid lane the coin can fall either way. I think Shark still has the better probably of Cole World. I think Shark still might have the better. And then gold lane, Zia. I'm not gonna lie, I still put Zia above basic. I put Zia above basic. But Mark Cutie might actually. So we're kind of back and forth in spot. EXP lane, maybe a toss up. If Nats gets to play, he might be better than Chicken. From my opinion, I think he probably is better than Chicken. So that's one for one for C9. Shark better than Cold World. One for GG. Mark Cutie might do better than Hoon. That's 2 for C9. Zia better than best player. 2 for GG. So like I said, I think a lot of it's gonna come down to Zane or best player. Like who does better. I put Zia over best player personally. I mean, not best player. Zia over basic. That's what I meant to say. Zia over basic. My bad. I put Zia over basic. I think he's just a steadier player. I think basic has higher highs. So like I think basic is higher highs, but also much lower lows. And best player is just the nice like. All right, so basic's highs are here. Zia's highs are maybe like right here. Zia's lows are here, but basic's lows are here. You know what I'm saying? So basic maybe has a wider range. But Zia has much better lows. Like when Zia's playing his worst, it's still better than basic's worst. But when basic's playing his best, it might be a little better than Zia's best. So I don't know, man. I think Zia overall, like if I had to pick one to be on my team, I would put Zia on my team every day. Sorry, basic. And I think Zia can still get a lot better. I mean, if basic never gets any better, then his prime is probably M4. That would be what I would say, but we'll see. I mean, I'm not saying like basic is washed. Like basic can still prove a lot. He just needs to tighten up. He had some good plays in M4. He had some decent plays in M4. His carry was really good in M4. Robert Verna. I mean, there really aren't that many switches. You have, and like the whole like literally every single MPL out there, players switch rosters and get bought by other teams and things like that. So it's not like switching players is not normal. I think it's just since it's not 8 organizations, it's a little harder to keep up with, you know, but it's not like players switching teams literally happens every season in almost every MPL except for like the top 2 teams. So like for example, MPL PH, the only 2 teams that are exactly the same right now are what are the top 2 teams. Or what were the last is like Echo and FCAP. So there will be one roster change allowed before playoffs. Do you think Zane's going to bring any flashy assassins in this tournament? Hopefully he's at least practicing them. He needs at least 2 assassins, or they need to have like a big plan for a lot of other power. Because if there's no, I don't know, we'll see. I don't know. My thought is this: it's like you have 2 options, right? You need to either be able to play Ling, Nolan, and you know maybe one other assassin, like, or you're gonna have to ban Ling and Nolan every time. He also needs to be ready to play the Roger jungle. Like, I don't know. We'll see. He can Julian. Zane can high. We'll see. I hope that he picks has a couple up his sleeve. I feel like he can Nolan as well, right? I is still sloppy. We'll see. Other than that, guys, it is late. It is 1:30 a.m. Thank you guys all for joining. I hope you guys had fun. I hope you guys enjoyed the show, enjoyed us going over a bunch of the teams. And yeah. I don't know if I'm going to stream tomorrow night or not. Yeah. I want to do another manga review video or anime review video. I'm watching Dungeon Meshi right now. So I'm debating either doing a review on Dungeon Meshi or a video on a manga. The manga might be Kagurobachi. Review Dungeon Meshi. It won me over last night. I watched the first 2 episodes and I was like, it's intriguing, but it hasn't really... I'm not trying to see mid on your... Bro, Kagurobachi, you think Kagurobachi's mid? I think it's upper mid. It has room to get better. I think it's got everything. The only thing it's lacking right now really is like character development. I think the characters are still kind of bland in a sense. Like we haven't like it lacks emotional character development, and like it hasn't really given me the big it hasn't really given me that, oh, this is good moment yet. But it's fun to read and it's good. Dungeon Meshi has stepped up. First 2 episodes, I was like, this is intriguing, it's good, but it hasn't hit me. And then after that, a lot of the episodes have been like, oh, this is good. It touches on some like emotional and even worldly concepts and things like that. So that's the most important thing, in my honest opinion. Even My Hero Academia has better character development. So you've read Kagurobachi, and you're not crazy about it. And you agree one of the things like My Hero Academia should... The problem with MHA is it should have had... MHA needed to be longer. That's what it needed. It needed to be an ongoing show. It needed to be in the likes of like Naruto and One Piece, where it goes like 1,000 episodes, because it's so big. It started off so good because it makes you think, oh man, this is a cool world. You've got hundreds of characters, but when you bring that much in, you need time to delve into all of these characters, and like you have this whole class of cool characters, and then you just don't get shit out of any of these characters, and it fucking sucks. And then fucking Million is the biggest fucking whiff. My girl's watching My Hero Academia right now. We just finished the overhaul arc, and I'm like, man, Mirio was such a cool character, and they just dropped the ball on him, bro. He never really like, he's supposed to be so cool, and he was so cool, and they just dropped the ball on him, bro. He comes back during like some of the final fights, and he doesn't do shit. Yeah. Anyways, I'm My Hero Academia is over. I think I'm gonna I have not finished it yet. Yeah. Anyways, that's a wrap. We're gonna call it. Solo Leveling's okay. I think it's kind of hot take. It might be a little overhyped. Maybe I just couldn't stick with it. It's cool. Like the action's all cool, but it takes a little time to really dive into like the universe, and from where I'm at, it hasn't gotten to the universe yet. And like it seems like it's hinting at it. Like you're getting some of these characters from other countries and stuff, and you're starting to, and they like hint at some of the power characters. So I'm like wondering. I've started reading the manhwa, and I'm like, bro, it's like fucking 60 chapters of him just leveling, bro. Back into a dungeon, back into a dungeon. I want to know more about the real world. I'm tired of the dungeons right now, bro. I want to know more about the real world. Because we get like, we're hinting at all these cool characters in the real world, and it's like, that's what I want to see. Fuck these dungeons. Fuck your dungeon, man. I still hold to this day that I think one of my favorite current mangas is Undead Unluck. Dandadan is really good. I've only read to chapter 45 now. I haven't picked it up in like 5 days. Kami got Kill, bro. Overrated. Kami got Kill's overrated, bro. It's like your typical like 16-year-old, I'm cool, I found this cool anime where they kill everybody. Like, it's good. It's good. It's good. Like, don't get me wrong, it is good. But it's like, it's fallen into this, like, for me, it's kind of fallen into this category of like, Kami got kills. It's like, it's like, I don't know, man. It's like it's like your typical it's the typical this is so cool. Even though it's good because it's like it took the easy way out in a sense of being good, of like, we're going to kill off all of the characters and do this trope of being this. We're going to be Game of Thrones times 100. And, you know, so I mean, it's good, but it's like, it's not really, if you really dive deep into it, it's nothing that special. Like, it's an easy do. Overlord is amazing. And I'm so mad there's not another season. Like, and I'm hoping that one day they give us another season, but Overlord is actually one of my favorite isekais. It's one of my favorite isekais. Overlord's one of my favorite isekais out there. Slime is also good, though this season has been really slow. Mushoku Tensei, one of my favorites. Bro, that last season of Mushoku Tensei, I almost cried at the end. I think I did drop a singular tear. Like, holy shit, that shit hit hard, bro. Hot take or sad moment, I have not watched Code Geass. Sword Art Online is actually like one of the first isekais ever. I know, bro. I know, guys. I know all about Code Geass. I just haven't watched it. I was listening to the Trash Taste podcast the other day where they were like talking about you know, like some of they did like the anime tournament where they like all the Patreons give them all their favorite anime, and then they like do a tournament bracket of animes, and Code Geass was on there, and they were talking about how it's like it was the first Attack on Titan, like it was the no. What's the topic? We're just talking about anime and manga right now. The topic is I need to end stream, but you guys are keeping... This is what always happens. We get onto the topic of manga and anime, and I don't end stream for another 20 minutes. I haven't watched To Your Turn. I know I've heard good things about To Your Turn. I just haven't watched it. Right now, I'm going to finish watching this season of Dungeon Meshi, and maybe I'll put To Your Eternity on my next watch list. Guys, if you want to recommend me anime, go to the Discord. Join the Discord server, recommend me anime. We could totally talk about anime all day in fucking the Discord server. I would love that, bro. I would fucking love it if you guys talked about anime. Like, fuck Mobile Legends. If you guys talked about anime and manga in my Discord server all the time, I would be the happiest boy alive, bro. Also, I have a piece of content. I have an idea for streams and content, guys. I don't know if anyone would be down for this. So my idea is to maybe once a week or every other week start doing debates. But I will not debate. It'll be two people in chat. We'll join a voice call on Discord and debate things like who's the best jungler in the world, or you know, is this team better than this team, or like we'll pick the topic for today, and it'll be on ML. Yeah, it'll be debates on ML. I will moderate. Me and like maybe we'll pick like 2 other people will moderate, and we'll start doing like a weekly debate. Mr. Fear, the #1 fan of OHAB. No, we'll moderate. Like, we'll make it very clear the rules in the beginning. And Zane versus Ken on a debate. Make it happen, TREX. Unstoppable Force meets an immovable object. Is that going to be our first, or will that be our first 2 debaters? Zane versus Ken? Is that what you guys want? Zane versus Ken? What would be the debate? What do we know they disagree on? Winner of the debate, and I'll do like, I'll give either both debatists a skin or like something like that. Like I'll make it worthwhile, or like the winner of the debate gets a skin. So yeah, we'll get in the works for that. I think that would be fun content. And nobody else is doing anything like that, so if anyone steals my idea, let me know. Yeah, so I think we're going to do that. Yeah, I've seen, bro, I watched Fate, Sword, whatever, Ultimate Sword Works way back. Like, I'm talking when that shit, like, first came out, and it was, like, this anime, it was, like, the first show to do fucking, like, camera angle animation, like, looking like a camera going up the sword, and, like, the fights were crazy. Like, I remember when it first came out. And then I watched Fate Zero, which I could rewatch. I haven't watched any of those in a while. And then I watched like most of Fate Apocrypha, which isn't actually canon, but still was okay. Have I seen the movies though? No. Are they just the same thing though? Because like 3 of those go through there. It's literally just Ultimate Sword Works, but it's like each one is through a different character's perspective, but it's basically the same exact thing. So, but I gotta go, guys. I gotta go. Debates will be on the board. If it was animated by UFO Table, yeah. Hi, Trev from France. What's up? Kernito. I'm so sorry to anyone that's just jumping in. We are about to end stream. Much love to all you guys. We're going to be doing debates soon. Debates will be soon. Probably, like, let's say next week. Then I'm getting married on the 21st. So I will have, like, a week where I am not doing shit. You will not hear from me at all. At all, probably. But please, guys, join the Discord. Let me know what your favorite anime is. Let me know if you're interested in debating, stuff like that, and all that good shit. Yeah, I'm getting married, guys, on the 21st. Your boy's going off the market. But much love. See you later, guys. I'll see you guys soon. I'm out.